Hi there, Johnny Ferreira here again, and I'm from howtoplaysaxophone.org, in case you're not on that site already. This exercise involves playing octaves, and no matter what kind of saxophone you play or what kind of music you like to play on your saxophone, this is an exercise that's really important and easy and will help you to become a better player because working on these octaves will help you in several ways. Number one, it's a great warm-up which will help your intonation, get your head focused in on the tuning of the notes. So you know, when we play saxophone, we have to be aware of intonation because we can jump around from note to note sometimes, and unlike on the piano, whatever note you hit, it's not automatically going to be in tune on the saxophone, right? Intonation, so that helps with ear training, and also helps with developing your tone. And I'm sure we all want to improve our tone, right? No matter what kind of music or saxophone we're playing. So let's get on with this exercise, and I'll explain to you a few things that you need to hear while you're doing it. I'm going to start with my G, middle G on the saxophone. Now we're going to do it two ways, tonguing and no tonguing, which is slurred or legato, as they say in music terminology. So I'm doing the no tonguing first. I'm just slurring from the low G to the octave G, and you won't hear a tongue. And this is the messier way it'll come out at first, because you don't have your tongue to control that second note, which when you do that, it can actually help you to get that note out a lot cleaner and more in tune. But the rawer way to do it is to not use your tongue and then focus in on the intonation after you hit the note. You can hear how I didn't hit it perfectly, and I had to kind of fish around for it a little bit. Start with a full first note, and then when we hit the second note, you want to make it as close to in tune to the first note as you can. It's the same note, right? It's just an octave higher, but it's still the same note, so you can tell if it's in tune or not. See, I played it flat. You can tell it's flat and ugly. Or that was sharp. So to flatten a note, we have to ease off on our embouchure, on the pressure on our bottom lip, and to sharpen a note, we have to add pressure, tighten up on it. And hopefully, if our saxophone is reasonably in tune and the mouthpiece is not too far out and not too far in on the cork, we won't have to make huge adjustments on our embouchure. And if you notice, I'm playing fairly loud too. It's no sense practicing any sort of tone exercise at a low volume. We want to get almost as much air, if not as much air, as possible. Hopefully you're not living in a restricted environment like where you're bugging neighbors and stuff. But you do want to spend some time doing these things at a loud volume, because it gets your air out and with an open throat. And working this way will enable you to develop your tone faster. Pretty hard to develop your tone practicing in a whisper all the time. I think it's impossible. But now the second way of doing this octave exercise is with your tongue on both notes. So let's check that out. So it's a little easier to make the note come out as in tune as the first note, because we have our tongue that is giving us some sort of control on the start of that note. So try it both ways, tonguing and then no tonguing. And I would suggest to start in the middle of the sax, like a F or a G or an A, and then jump octaves. You know, at least do 4 or 5 or 6 of them. So that was tonguing, and the hardest part is the no tongue, the slur. Do tongue the first note, but don't tongue the second note. Again, like long tones, this is not one of the most exciting exercises ever invented. But like long tones, it's one that will guarantee that you improve your tone and develop a better sense of pitch. And you work on this for a few minutes every day for a little while, and you will notice some improvement, and you'll feel more confident in some of those more difficult octave jumps that are so inherent to this monster we call the saxophone. Good luck.